Making two bomb sites for a map is a strange idea. For gameplay and timing reasons, they're completely separate from one another, and yet, when included in the same map, they define it. We get stuck in the mindset that only one layout could possibly work for each bomb site, but that really isn't the case. The key to making a good bomb site is to keep what is good about a design and to mercilessly and ruthlessly chop and change other elements. At some points, you've even got to throw away good ideas because they're restricting the map in some other way. Bombsite B is the one that I'm the most proud of. It has very close links with middle, and I find that it is the bomb site that most players naturally gravitate towards. This may sound like a bad thing, but players naturally move towards A in Dust 2, and that's like the best map ever, so perhaps this isn't too bad. Also, for deathmatch mode, maybe it's best that they only fight around one bomb site and middle rather than both to concentrate the action. Or maybe it is bad and I'm just making excuses. The first version was big, sprawling and unimaginative, but it gave me inspiration for the second version. I added a squeaky door and a bangable room leading up to it. I hate doors. They're clumsy, buggy things that restrict movement and feel tacked on at the best of times. And yet, looking at Cache and CPL Mill, they define the bomb site. Aside from Tukivasati, I've never had one in my levels, and I almost felt that I was missing out. Why not add one to my level? A Phillip door. One that follows my rules of mapping and is used in a way that I'm proud of. And here is what I came up with. This side room remains practically untouched from then on. It played well and was a real selling feature in the playtesting stage. I looked forward to it when my teammates decided to head towards the newer and more mysterious Bombsite B, and I suppose the appeal of the site hasn't ever really worn off. It started by having an entrance in the middle like this, and a strange canal down the centre. I decided to simplify it, since adding crates and ladders everywhere to help scale the walls everywhere wasn't too appealing. At this early stage, the site had a dead area at the back. By that, I mean that there aren't any entrances leading to it, and that it's simply a place that people go to camp. It even had its own Gary spot at one point. Eventually, in this infamous version of the level, I moved the CT entrance to the back spot, which removed the Gary spot, made all corners of the site accessible, and generally improved the security of the site. I don't want to feel worried when running across a map, and running into an area where there are like 10 different angles somebody can shoot you from is not fun. Removing the central entrance gave the door more importance and made the site feel safer for both teams. When you enter a site, you want to be able to check each point at a time, rather than being faced with many different spots that you can be shot from. Terrorists now have two entrances that they can discreetly rotate between from behind a bangable wall. A bit like Bombsite A's design, I felt that this made you reasonably safe, but there's still that slight possibility that somebody will get a lucky shot through the wall at you. This gave me nightmares. It was born out of necessity and is the one place where I chose optimization over gameplay. If you try to roll a sheet up into a sphere, there's going to be a part where you sew it all together. A horrible, messy join. This is what this area is in my map. It serves as the middle entrance to the site and also has to block your view so that it doesn't render two graphically intensive areas at once. Unless I wanted to move the site and everything else further away from the centre of the level, this had to be a narrow, steep entrance. In playtesting, I was told several times to widen it, but I had my hands tied. Looking back, I'm pleased I left it as it was. The area itself isn't that pleasant, but as I said earlier, the bomb site's popularity is due to its close ties with middle. That's mainly thanks to how compact this area is. The bomb site itself didn't change much from this stage onwards. It's a courtyard surrounded by areas that provide more cover. It's similar to Balfour's Ruins bomb site in this regard, only there isn't enough cover to let players hide, which I felt made it too difficult for Control to switch hands between the two sides. Now I had a strong middle and two decent bomb sites. All I had to do now was to connect them together, to detail the map and to release it to the world. As with Bombsite A, here are some of the amusing things that arose during playtesting. Let's sit back and enjoy Tori Black's soft, seductive voice.
It has easily controlled recoil. Easier than DK and import. Oh. You hit me a couple times.
And here's the beautiful moment when Gary discovered a new Gary spot.
I found my corner, by the way, Phil. Yeah.
It's too bad there's no sprays.
Yeah.
Philip, do you mind if I spam Molotovs?
Welshie and Balthazar once again provided assistance in calculating the timings for this bomb site.
Here I come. Hi.
Camacho from the Cubicle Brothers volunteered to test just how bangable the walls were.
Do it. Wow. That's so cool. I'm almost dead. Yeah, nice. In the head.
And finally, some short clips showing general gameplay at the bomb site.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
He's planting it A.
no, it's not.
I like this map, Phil. It's good. I think it's going to be a brilliant one. I'm already having fun. And there's not even any people we don't know to piss off yet. Oh no.
Terrorists win.
Oh!
Thank you for watching.